the Indy Sports Car Podcast.
Detroit NASCAR podcast?
I hate you.
Okay. This is Faux Willpower, and you're listening to Indy Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indy Sports Car Podcast. Hey, Missy.
Hello, hello.
What's going on, Christian?
What up?
Mike, how are you?
Hey, guys.
Krista Hardy from Motorsport Tribune, what's up?
My blood alcohol level.
Right on. Good show today. So, this is, Missy, I think you'd agree, this is probably the second biggest show of the year for us, right? Because it's, the first biggest would be the show after the first IndyCar race. The second biggest would be at the first after the season's over, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, and I think we have a panel of the finest out there.
Oh, let's not get carried away.
Well, we have, Christian and Mike's here. And Chris is here. Oh, I'm
Again,
here, so.
Let's not get carried away.
Ouch.
I'm here. I'm here.
Wow.
Ouch.
Wow.
I know. She's hardcore. Do you want me to bounce somebody out?
You want your...
That's why I married her.
So anyway, right on. So, well, everybody predicted it, and it came true. Joey New is our new championship guy. So he won it.
Champion?
Champion.
I believe champion is the term for
Yep.
that. Yeah.
2017 Verizon IndyCar Series champion. Joseph
Right.
Newgarden, everybody. Who's seen that coming, huh?
Woo.
I didn't.
Yeah, I
Good for Joseph. I'm happy for him.
If somebody would have told me that it was going to happen his rookie year as in Team Penske, I'd go, well, it just happened to Simon. Why not? Yeah, so there you go. I think Penske should just keep on, firing somebody and hiring somebody new. Seems to be working for him.
yeah, but
Anyways,
testament to that equipment as well.
yeah, everybody's got the same equipment. It's it's how you use it. Anyways, right on. So, Newgarden wins the championship of the last season of this ridiculous Batmobile. Before we go to a modern, awesome-looking car, I'm happy for him. I really am. He was happy. A lot of great screen grabs, if you wanted to get them, of him with his fist in the air going, yeah! I was emotional-ish. How about you guys?
Oh, yeah. That was awesome to see.
I was happy for the man. How about you, Missy? What do you think?
We're still talking about Joseph Newgarden?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Because I already stated, I'm happy that Joseph won
Look,
it.
I'm just, I'm trying to start. Missy, take it.
What?
Just take it. What are we going to talk about first? Where are we going to go?
Well, you already just dove right into IndyCar and, the 2017 Verizon IndyCar Series champion. So, it wasn't surprising. Simon Pagenaud won the race, but, it was, I know, it was just all right. The bigger story was Joseph Newgarden winning, first year with Team Penske as a rookie. I think it's the first time any rookie for Penske has won championship first year, right?
Simon Pagenaud last year?
No, it wasn't.
Pagano's, I think.
Second year.
Was it the second year? I thought it was in the first year.
It was the second year with Penske.
Wah. I suck. I really
Chris, I hear you
suck.
typing. Are you looking?
No, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, you looking up the stat? I'm pretty sure I heard him mention he was the first, his rookie year with Penske. He's not a rookie, but his first year with Penske. I think he's the first one. Maybe no.
First team
first
Penske
one.
car to win a championship?
In his rookie year, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I think so. I think that's
Nope.
That's what
No, I don't think so.
Rick Mears in 1979 and Al Unser Jr. in 1994.
Woo!
All right. He was the
that
third
And,
guy.
well, technically, also you could say Al Unser Sr. in 1983.
Why technically?
Well, it was Al Sr.'s first year driving a Penske car. I don't think he drove a Penske before, so yeah, a fourth guy, I guess, to do it.
No, he only had one stint with Penske. Yeah, it's towards the end of his career.
Yeah. So yeah, fourth guy.
Right on. Well, at least I was sort of right. Sort of. No, I was 100% wrong. Yeah. But
Good job, Frank.
thank you. And
So I would assume he's staying with Penske next year. So
who? Joseph?
yeah.
I think it's a lock.
There's already been so much that has come out. I guess let the silly season begin. Silly off season, I should say, begin with everything going on. You hear Chevy wants Penske to run 4 cars. Penske only wants to run 3. So
And he's
I
not
see
the only
that.
one downsizing.
I see that Elio did a test for Acura at Sebring
Mr.
right
Moon
after
fell up.
Sonoma. So yeah, you mentioned downsizing. So Chip Ganassi is downsizing apparently to 2 cars because they want to focus on having 2 cars that can compete for a championship.
Which, okay.
So Scott Dixon is their one guy, and then the second guy is up in the air.
Not really. If you're talking Mulcher. Came out with this driver I never heard of before.
Well, that wasn't Molcher's article. So.
Oh, it wasn't? I'm sorry.
Brendan Hartley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a Red Bull.
WEC
He was a Red Bull Junior driver, and also drives for Porsche in the World Endurance Championship.
Now the
Won a championship with
the
them.
LMP1 Porsche, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark Webber.
Right on. What, he was the fill-in for Mark Webber, or he drove with Mark Webber?
No, he drove.
Drove with Mike Webber.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, isn't Porsche pulling out of LMP1?
Yeah.
Correct.
So, well, that frees him up. There you go.
So, Tony Kanaan, they say, is going to Foyt
Yep.
next year.
Still
So
haven't announced who seat he's taken. But
No.
some people are speculating Daly, other people are speculating Munoz. I don't know. You want to start there? No, I don't want to touch that, to be honest. It's all
here's why I
speculation.
think it's going to be Munoz.
Okay, why?
Because if you listen to the broadcasters from the last race of the season, they said that this was Connor Daly's how they word it, his contract. He only had a 1-year deal, but I thought Munoz signed for more than. I thought he signed for 2, but I don't know. But the commentators, the way they made it sound, it was like Connor Daly's fighting for his job because this is his contract. Whatever, he needs a contract year, whatever you want to call it, needs to re-sign.
Okay.
But I still think it's gonna be Munoz anyway, staying. I don't know.
Oh, you think Munoz is going to stay and
Yeah.
TK is taking over Connor?
Yeah.
Okay. Christian, what do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, really. I felt like Connor came on the strongest toward the end. So, if you had to drop one over the other.
So you're
And
going
not that I don't like Carlos, but just going off of the results, if you're looking at that end of the season push, Connor was able to score some top 10, so I'd say probably keep him then. But
Okay. Fair enough. Chris, what do you think?
Connor Daly's form at the end of the season showed, in my opinion, why AJ Foyt needs to move the entire team to Indianapolis. His crew and everybody was starting to gel really towards the end of the year, and we saw it pay dividends with the performances at Mid-Ohio, Watkins Glen, Gateway, and at Sonoma. I think he's starting to find his stride, and Foyt needs to keep him.
Okay, fair enough. Good argument. How about you, Mike?
I'm going to piggyback off the last two guys here. I think his performance the last 4 or 5 races, which was just much more consistent than Munoz was at any point.
But Munoz was top 10 too, in a couple of the last races.
Yes, he was. They both were actually pretty decent. Just, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going off of what Larry Foyt did last year and said last year before Daly was hired last year. Late last year, by the way, before the season started. Munoz was the first one signed way early. And what Larry said, why he got Munoz in the first place, and hey, TK would be that veteran presence that he would have wanted for him. So, just by that alone, I'm going to say it's going to be Daly's out and Munoz in. But then again, you know, I mean, if you want to go off of the last couple results, then you definitely make an argument for that too. So that's why it's going to be interesting to see which way they go, you know. Or they could just clean house, do a clean sweep. I mean, does anybody see that even happening?
I hope not.
That's a possibility.
I mean, anything's a possibility.
Definitely a possibility.
That's the great thing about the silly season. Anything's possible. I mean, who would have thought, you know, I mean, Ganassi going down to 2 cars, going to keep Dixon, obviously, because, well, you know, it would be the most ridiculous move not to. But to replace TK with a guy that I've just really never heard of until today. I can think of so many other drivers that are out there that, I don't know, have more IndyCar experience. You know, Tristan comes to mind right away.
But maybe they need different drivers out there to bring over those fans with them.
But then I heard that it's only going to be like a 1-year deal because he wants Felix Rosenqvist. And Felix already signed that deal for Formula E, so it's got to let that play itself out. So 2019, I'll have Felix in there. And I'm telling you, Rosenqvist is a great driver, man. Nothing but that dude's talented as anything. No matter what he drives, he wins. So, I mean, inevitably having Felix Rosenqvist and Scott Dixon. Can you imagine what a team that would be? Wow. Just not ready yet. So, for the time being, he's going to go this route, I guess. Okay. But, I mean, that's just, again, speculation. Nothing confirmed. All right. So, all right. And then, God, so much news came out today. Jeez Louise. What else came out? I'm stuck on the chip thing.
Sato is official.
That is he signed, like officially signed?
I think so, yeah. He's going to Rahal Letterman line again next year.
Yeah, the official press release came out today.
Yeah.
Now, what Graham's been able to do on his own, and now he's going to have a teammate to bounce, data off of and everything. Now, does Graham become a championship contender next year because of this?
I thought he already was a championship contender the last 2 years.
Not really. Well, he sort of was.
I mean, not this year. I mean, he fell off a little bit, but last year I thought he came on.
Well, yeah, but last year Simon was just so freaking dominant, you know. But you know, it's just either Rahal's team got it really, really dead on, or they were way off. You know, you can't win a championship that way. But that's because they only had one car, one shot at it.
He wasn't dominant last year, so. Because if he was, Will Power, having missed a race, wouldn't have been so close to being the only one in the field to beat him towards the end of the year.
Yeah, well, Will went on a tear of a bunch of wins in a row.
Well, the fact is that Simon Pagenaud wasn't dominant because Will Power wouldn't have been able to do that. If he was.
Will and Simon were dominant, and everybody else were just kind of, you know, getting taken out by a Chuck.
Speaking of which, I expect him to be at Carlin next year.
Which blew me away when you told me that. I couldn't believe that. Him and Chilton, you're saying?
Yeah, they both drove for Carlin and junior level formula.
That's true.
I thought Chilton. I'm pretty sure I thought he would go to Carlin.
Yeah, I mean, Carlin's going to need people that bring money with them to the table. He's not going to be able to, fund every single driver. Maybe one if he does at all. But Kimball comes with funding, Chilton comes with funding, so it makes sense.
But is Kimball coming with funding? Is his sponsorship up? Because I thought that's why he wasn't going to be with Ganassi anymore.
No, I
'cause
think
sponsorship.
Ganassi didn't want to have more than 2 cars after the way the last 2 seasons have gone. I'm pretty sure they're going to go down to 2 cars no matter what, unless Kimball won a few races. But I figure, I was just looking up Kimball. When he was with Carlin, he actually was driving in British F3 back in 2005, and actually was second in the championship that year to Alvaro Parente. So that's how him and Carlin know each other.
And who did he lose to again? What was his name?
Alvaro Parente.
And where's him?
World Challenge.
Say there.
Pro World Challenge.
Yep. Pirelli?
World Challenge.
They were just in
Sonoma.
Yeah, and they were airing Coda tonight for some reason. But yeah, Pirelli always has some weird television schedule of races that they race. Like they'll race someplace and then you'll see it a week and a half later. Hopefully that'll change next year. But all right. So definitely Ray Hall, Letterman Lanigan's going to be, I think, obviously a better team next year with Sato and Graham, as long as they work well together, I suppose. Hopefully, Coyne retains Jones and Sebastian for next year, which I haven't heard anything to the contrary. Have you, Chris?
I have not.
All right. And so I guess basically it's the Foyt watch, really. And because Larry was the first one to say that he wanted everything out on the table and finished up and figured out as soon as humanly possible after Sonoma, right?
Well, I mean, I think it's not just the Foyt watch. I mean, you got to think about Carlin. You got to think about Juncos.
Well,
And I'm thinking
Kaiser,
even
definitely.
too, like, are some of these teams going one less car with maybe trying to bring in the newer, teams to get? Because I mean, how many cars can really, really be fielded on all these tracks all the time, all year round? You can't put 33 on in every single track.
Well, no, of course not. But 28, sure. I mean, he's pushing it, but I think it's plausible. Well, I mean, what would be the one track that would suffer the most with 28 entrants?
Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, I was just thinking Mid-Ohio. And it's not that small. I mean, pit lanes, can accommodate 28. I think, or really close to it. And that's the only one. I mean, Phoenix would have no problem with it, I don't think, because they got pits all the way around, don't they? Anyways, I don't think Phoenix is going to be a track for too much longer in the series. I don't know about you guys. I mean, maybe next year might be the last year, unless they all of a sudden have a huge, surge in attendance next year. Which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But it might with the new car. I mean, we're going to St. Pete again for the first time in 3 years, or for whatever, because of the new kits on the cars. Looking forward to that.
I mean, there was also an article put out, about talking to Oriol Servia about the new, kits, because he's tested them. So we posted that up on our Facebook and Twitter. It's a good read.
Where can they find all that stuff at, Missy?
That would be our revamped
And
website at www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Website looks awesome. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
No, honestly, thank you, because it would never look that way if it was up to me. I'm not creative at all. But and again, the hours you spent, we can't thank you enough, man. Really, it looks awesome. So everybody, check out the new website. Everything's there. Everything's at the click of a button. Past episodes, new episodes, all the social media, everything's there. It looks professionally
But
done.
Mike and I were having a conversation offline, and I don't know if he told you yet, but there's going to be a special section
What's that?
devoted to my face and my face alone on the new ISU.
MyFace, wasn't that an old social media network?
Um,
Oh, that was MySpace. My bad.
Wow. Wow. Well, maybe it's a new one. Maybe you can make it my face, you know? Because I don't think they've done anything with pictures yet.
Yeah, it's called Instagram.
Oh. Well. A little late there, Chris. Sorry. Maybe video. Next is video, I bet. Yep.
They had that it was called Vine, but Twitter killed it.
Well, they bought it. Then they killed it. Now it's Periscope, right? Whatever. I don't know. Vine was dumb anyway. It's a 6-second video. I mean, it was just enough to keep your attention, and that's the point. But it was just short enough to not do anything really at all. I don't know. Did you Vine a lot there, Chris?
Did not.
How about you, Christian? Never mind.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Christian's got a new Twitter, everybody. Just want to throw it out there. It's A-L... Christian, would you like to let everybody know your new Twitter handle?
Yes. My new Twitter handle, I believe, is ALEIXO Racing at Aliso Racing. I think that's what Frank set it up to be.
Yep. And his password is no, I'm kidding.
And my social security number is no.
He was born in '88.
So yeah, that's I guess where we can find me on Twitter now. I'll have to start.
Everybody follow Christian and tell him how great a job he is.
I mean, so far he's a very exciting follow.
Oh yeah, I mean his first tweet was a doozy, very controversial. And that's what you're going to get with at Alicia or Alicia his Twitter account.
Aliaso
Racing. Did I get it right that time?
I think Lady Gaga sang about it. Aliaso.
Oh.
Racing. Wait, what? Does she want to sing like that?
No, no.
Keep going.
Okay. Speaking of which,
And did we mention Elio Castroneves tested the Acura in Sebring after Sonoma?
Yeah, I think he was there with Montoya and Pagano.
He what?
I think he was there with Montoya and Pagano.
Why Simon Racing Sport? Well, I guess for the endurance.
Well, Simon did sports cars before he went to do IndyCar full time again.
That's true. That's true. For American Le Mans, right?
Yeah, he did it with Highcroft Racing.
Yeah. I miss that.
Do you think that's any foreshadowing?
And also with the Peugeot factory team too.
I miss Peugeot. I just miss the LMP1. No,
yeah, I would assume he's going to be racing in sports car next year in Acura, and
so you think it's foreshadowing?
And Penske's going to be a 3-car team next year.
Oh, Missy's putting her name on that already. I'm still holding out hope that it's just
I'm just reading. I got eyes.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping that something happens and Elio says, "Nah, I'm just gonna, say I had a good IndyCar career and hang it up." I don't know. Become a commentator.
Speaking of a good IndyCar career, he doesn't have a championship, an IndyCar Series championship.
No.
But he's got 3 IndyCar wins. Do you think those outweigh the championship?
I think you mean 3.
Yeah, that's what I meant. 3 500.
Yeah, he's won more than 3 IndyCar races, so.
Well, yeah, but his Indy 500 wins were what? His rookie season, his second season,
after,
and then his 4th season.
Yeah.
It's 01, 02, 09.
Oh wow, okay. It was that much in between. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was for some reason like.
I'm just
01,
saying though,
02,
a
and
career
04.
standpoint.
He almost won in 03, though.
That's true. Back to back to back from rookie to that would have been crazy. But yeah, I mean, a 3-time Indy 500 winner, you're gonna stick him in the rest of his career sharing a DPI. Okay, come on, really?
No, I'm just asking, is it a satisfying career for Elio without winning an IndyCar championship
I say no.
and just having the 3 Indy 500 wins?
Um,
And
I-
does that make him one of the best though? One of the greats in IndyCar?
I think so.
Even if he retires now and just goes to sports car and doesn't do another IndyCar race.
I'm with Frank 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. It still makes him one of the greats. Christian?
Yeah, no, it's obviously still been a meaningful career for him. Just winning one Indy 500, I think, would make whatever you've been doing pretty meaningful. So, yeah, but I did read earlier. I guess he had made a quote and said that no matter what, I'm not hanging it up. So you can kind of count that out, Frank. He says no matter what, next year he will be driving something. So
I know. I just don't want to see him, and I don't know. IMSA still has a bad taste in my mouth from what the merger and everything, what they've done with it, and it's just. So,
Speaking of IMSA, some big news came out of IMSA today.
yeah, it was a big day for racing. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Continental is no longer going to be the tire supplier for Prototype and GT Daytona and whatever replaces Prototype Challenge, and that role is going to be taken up by Michelin after the 2018 season.
They're going to call it P3 cars, or
Okay.
wherever it's like LMP2 then LMP3. So I guess I don't know. Take that for what you want. I don't know what that means. I don't know what kind of car that is or what it will be, but that's what's taking up PC from what I heard. But I don't even know if that's true or not. I guess we'll find out. And that's from James French, who would know since he raced the PC. So I guess we'll find out. But all right. How about this? So okay, Kyle Kaiser, obviously, yeah, IndyCar. Santee, probably, definitely, probably. Aside from those two coming out of Indy Lights, Chris, I'm going to start with you. Don't give me a whole list. I just want the, so top 3, obviously, Santee, Kaiser, 1 and 2. Give me your third out of Indy Lights that could possibly be in IndyCar next year.
The problem is that the guys. I think you have to get Pedro Hida a couple of IndyCar starts because he's the only driver that's ever gotten 100 starts on the road to Indy. At some point, you have to, either make the move up or get out, in my opinion.
Do you share the same opinion with Shelby? Because, I mean
he can try it, but I think his results have not been consistent at all. And I think Dalton needs another year in Indy Lights. He's really good on ovals, but on road and street courses, not as much. But on ovals, he's actually really, really good.
Oh, who, Collette?
Yeah, Dalton Kellett.
Right on. Yeah, he's been with Andretti forever, hasn't he?
Since 2015.
Yeah. I just always like that car, the Klein Tools car. It's cool. I like it. I like the color of it. All right. So I actually thought you were going to say Clayman DeMello, to be honest with you.
I think Clement DeMello needs one more season to get fully consistent. He had speed, but I think if he can deliver a lot more consistency, then he'll be ready.
So about one more year, you think, with him? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Missy, who do you think, out of the top 3, minus Santee and Kaiser? So you're one driver out of Indy Lights into IndyCar next year.
Uh, besides those two, I mean, I would probably. I'd probably go with Zachary Clayman DeMello. I don't really. I'm not a Juan Peter High. Not really, feeling him, but I don't think anybody else is ready.
Yeah, it was kind of a very young grid this year. I mean, other than the ones we know about, but it was a fairly
I
young
know
grid.
Peter Hyde's been in the Indy Lights for a couple of years, but I don't know. I just can't see him bumping up to IndyCar.
Okay.
I think the other ones, besides Kaiser and Urtia, I mean, they need more.
It would.
I mean,
it would have to
Burden
be on
needs more time to
sponsorship.
develop. I mean, Lease needs more time to develop.
Yeah, true. Okay. So you're saying DeMello, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he raced for, last race of the season. He did pretty well. I think he had, did they say 9 of the fastest laps in Sonoma?
Something
8?
like that. Yeah.
8 of the fastest laps.
Okay. Well, speaking of Sonoma, Missy, do you have the finishing lineup for that?
Yes. So Sonoma, your finishing order for the last race of the year was Simon Pagino, followed by Joseph Newgarden and Will Power of Penske Lockout on the podium. Then you had Scott Dixon, Elio Castroneves, Graham Rahal, Marco Andretti, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Sebastian Bourdais, Connor Daly, Charlie Kimball, Max Chilton, Spencer Piggott, J.R. Hildebrand, Carlos Munoz, Tony Kanaan, Zachary Clayman DeMello, Jack Harvey, Ed Jones, Takuma Sato, Alexander Rossi, and James Hinchcliffe was your finishing order.
All right. So, speaking of Hinch, I'm hearing maybe 2 teammates next year, possibly.
I don't think the third car would be a full time though.
Yeah, maybe for a couple races in the 500.
Okay, so who would his teammates be?
I'm gonna go with
What's that?
I'm gonna go with Serbia as a teammate. Not that it's the sexy pick, but it's he's been testing with Honda and SPM for this 2018 car.
So is Juan Pablo Montoya.
No, it's Chevy.
No, I'm saying he's been testing the 2018 car.
Well, yeah, but on the Chevy side, though.
Never
We
mind.
already know what he's doing for next year, though.
Oh, yeah.
No, I see what Missy was saying.
Thank you,
I see
Christian.
where you were going with that.
Thanks, Christian.
Yeah, it went over.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Santi. I think Schmidt's gonna scoop up Santi for Hinch's second. Personally, yeah.
I can see that, but I can also see, what was that guy's name? Robert Wickens.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? His name?
The DTM driver that Hinch swapped with.
Yeah.
Does Wickens have the funding to come for a full season?
Oh, he was on Schmidt-Peterson's list.
That's true. So, yeah, and if he's on that list, that means a yes, he does. Otherwise, you don't make the list. All right. Chris, what do you think?
Santi, because he's already got the driver's suit.
Yep, there you go. Mini Hinch. And Santi almost won in the championship before Ed Jones beat him last year for Schmidt. So that's kind of why I picked Santi.
Almost doesn't count.
Always a bridesmaid.
Horseshoes,
Always
hand
a
grenades.
bridesmaid, isn't it?
Well, plus Santi's coming with full funding, and that kind of really seals the deal in my head, him going to Schmidt.
Well, he's only got 70% according to his announcement.
It's like 90 now, more than 90. It's got to be over 90% now, because it was like 90% like 2 weeks ago. Anyway, all right. So, and then Hinch has what one more season under his contract, I think.
I think he's technically a free agent right now.
Is it technically okay? Right on. I don't know. I haven't looked at Hinch's contract in a while. Chris, do you have any insights on that?
I do not.
Okay. Christian.
Regardless, I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
Christian, who do you think is going to wind up being Hinch's at least the number 2 driver in the Schmidt paddock with him?
Yeah, I'd probably go with Urusha as well.
Urrutia.
Yeah.
Right on. No Jack Harvey?
You know what?
He showed so much promise. I'm just kidding. No, Harvey's a good guy. Well, I like Harvey.
I could see him with Carlin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've seen him with Carlin. What do you mean? Last time I talked to him, he was wearing a Carlin shirt. And he was spotting for, who was it? Oh, yeah, Pidrata.
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he?
No, Peter Hyde is what Team Pelfrey.
That's right.
Neil Alberico.
That's it. I keep getting those two mixed up. How about Neil Alberico going to IndyCar next year? No? Yes?
No.
Too inconsistent.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
He was like Katy Perry. He was hot and he's cold.
Oh, what? Is that a song name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
I don't listen to Katy Perry. Why do you know that, Chris?
You're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're no. You're
Oh,
in and
I love
you're-
that song. I mean, yeah, I know the song. In your out, you're up and you're down. Yep. Sorry.
Cinderella joke, Frank. Cinderella joke.
Oh.
Okay, isn't Veach going? Oh yeah, Veach is.
It's gonna be a no.
Veach is a 3-year deal with Andretti.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. So, does that leave any seats open at Andretti still? Or is
No.
that fills it up, right?
Yep.
Unless they go to a 5th car.
You think they will? I mean, after Chip going down, you think? I mean, Andretti's not shy of.
I don't know.
Feeling
He's
safe
crazy enough to
selling
do
cars.
it.
I know. You imagine that 6 full-time cars?
Yeah, that'd be insanity.
He's almost there.
Son of a beach.
I'm really happy for Veach, to be honest. Yeah, I think.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm happy for Veach. Getting a contract like that, and it's going to be an IndyCar. Called it 2 years ago. You have to go back on it. Just take my word for it. I called it. Yep. We had him on the show once. 15-minute interview. I don't remember any of it, but I think it went well. Missy, did it go good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Zach was awesome. I don't remember any of it. But yeah, Zach's a good guy. I definitely, after his racing career is over, he'll definitely be in the broadcasting booth. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they groomed him for that more than racing last 2 years, really. It seems. All right. So, and as far as Andretti goes, that's what. So it's what, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Rossi, Marco, Veach, and
That's it.
that's 4 cars.
Yep.
Okay. So, will he field a 5th car for the Indy 500 for somebody, or is he going to, or you think he will?
I think
Stephen
yes.
Wilson, isn't it?
Likely.
Stephen Wilson. Man, put him full time, will he? Jeez. Will somebody put Stephen Wilson full time, for crying out loud?
Funding.
Juncos. There you go. He can go to Juncos. There you go.
If anything, Yunkos ought to put Peter Dempsey in a car before they put Stephen Wilson, because Peter has been a driver coach for them for a while. And funny enough, he won the Freedom 100 back in 2013, and he's the only driver in that 4-driver shot that has not done an IndyCar race.
Oh yeah, and he was one that won that, right? Wasn't he? From 4th to 1st.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Greatest finish in open wheel history. I'm saying
That was
Yep.
it was pretty nuts.
they've tried to beat it and come close a few times, but
Well, they actually did get closer than that at the Speedway when Dean Stoneman won over Ed Jones. By the way, Dean Stoneman should be in IndyCar.
no, he shouldn't. I'm gonna.
Yes, he should.
No, he should. He's not. He's another. No, he's too dangerous. He's too reckless of a driver to be in IndyCar. He has no racecraft, zero racecraft ability. Stoneman. Nope. Don't. We already had a guy here, and he's gone. Thank goodness. And there's a few others that need to go that have, they're on the board, but not as bad. Yeah.
Who are you referring to, Karam?
Of course.
He ought to be in IndyCar too.
What?
Of course. He's a lightning rod. He gets your attention.
Yeah, because of all the mayhem he's creating for his lack of racecraft.
He's like the Kyle Busch of IndyCar.
Has nude photos.
No, what?
Yeah.
Kyle.
Chris, I'm gonna no.
well, here's-
In what way? In what way is Sage Karam like Kyle Busch?
People either
On
love
what
him
planet,
or
Chris? On what planet?
people
Doesn't
either
Kyle
love
Busch,
him
like,
or
win?
let me finish. People either love him or they hate him. Immensely talented behind the wheel, but can be prone to making dumb decisions.
No, there can
What?
be, and
Are
there
you
is
talking about-
definitely. Sage Karam is
Okay.
definitely prone.
Are you referring to Kyle Busch during the Hendrick days?
I'm referring to Kyle Busch total. I mean, Kyle
No,
Busch is
because Kyle is way more tame now than he ever was back in the Hendrick days. Hendrick days, he was wrecking cars left and right. I could see maybe some kind of a comparison. But Kyle Busch now compared to Sage Karam now? No, absolutely not.
Do you know how hard you have to try to get Nick Tandy to hate you? Of all drivers, honestly, in GTD.
No.
I mean, Sage Cameron's managed to PO Sean Rahal for some reason. I don't know why or how he did it, but he did it somehow. And they don't even race against each other.
If he can get everything working right with his talent, he can easily be a fantastic IndyCar driver. That's my
You
opinion.
could say that about anything and anyone, Chris.
Well,
That's
yeah,
literally
Chris.
anything and anyone.
No,
the guy at
no.
KFC,
I
if
know
he
what
can
Chris
get
is
his
saying.
stuff working
I know what
right,
Chris is saying. I
he
know.
could be the
Not
best.
I see.
You could say that about anything.
No, I see what Chris is saying. I
firmly believe that.
What does that mean?
Hang on, I firmly believe that he has a talent to make it an IndyCar if he can tone down, his aggression. He has the natural talent, but can be overly aggressive. That's what got him the podium at Iowa in 2015.
And that's what got him out of IndyCar after that.
In 2017,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
right.
Actually, he wasn't that overly aggressive in the 500 because he had an alternator that went bad. He didn't have any power. If he would have had power, he would have had a decent car.
And I'm sure there's winners of that race that I'm happy he couldn't. But who knows? The dude has zero race IQ. He's a ditz behind the wheel. He's got natural talent. I agree. You don't win races in Indy Lights and all and everything that he did when you don't. But
You know who he reminds me of?
who?
He reminds me of Tim Richmond before Harry Hyde got a hold of him.
Who? And who? Who and who?
Wow.
Tim Richmond?
Tim Richmond, NASCAR.
Well, that's why.
Oh yeah, we that's why he doesn't know. Yeah.
Well, he actually drove an IndyCar, actually. Tim Richmond actually was the 1980 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year.
Okay, that was 3 years before I was born. How do you know?
Yeah.
This is why I love Chris, because he's got some major like history up in that brain of his. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Richmond ran in the Indy 500 twice, in 80 and 81.
Do you know his finishing positions?
I know in 80 he finished 12th, I think.
See what I mean? Like, that's amazing to me that you even know that.
Yeah,
Actually, I was wrong. He finished 9th.
I couldn't even tell you where we'll finish the Indy 500 this year.
Because you wrecked.
Well, there you go. I mean, either way.
The thing about Richmond was that what made him also endear himself to the fans is that he actually rode. His car ran out of fuel on the slowdown lap, and he stopped in turn 4 near the pit entrance. He got into Johnny Rutherford's car, and Johnny gave him a ride down pit lane.
Okay.
That happened last year too, didn't it? I forget what drivers it was. Somebody gave Hinch.
It was at Watkins Glen.
I was going to say, that was at the
somebody
Glen,
gave Hinch a ride. Was it Sebastian Bourdais that gave Hinch a ride?
Yeah, and there was a big backlash about that, too.
I don't see what the big deal was.
Safety?
Hey, break. They're two IndyCar drivers. It's not like Sebastian was gonna, do 200 around the track.
Let alone anyone else, for that matter. Well, maybe close to the boot, maybe.
I just don't
I'm also
understand.
here's another comparison I'll bring up with Sage Karam and Kyle Busch. You know who really reminds me of both of them? Who I can see in both of them is they're like the Jimmy Connors of motorsports.
Who?
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Tennis player. So if any of y'all watch 30 for 30
that's not a real
on ESPN,
sport.
Shut up. It's boxing at 90
Don't
feet.
you start
anyway.
with that, Frank. Don't you start with that, Frank.
I said
Anyway.
that. I said that.
He won 109 singles titles. He won like the US Open like 5 or 6 times. And when he was 38 turning 39 years old in 1991, he actually managed to go all the way to the semifinals of the tournament when the guy that won not Wimbledon, the US Open. And the guy that won the US Open the previous year was half his age. So go figure.
It's all about the racket.
Well, the great thing about Jimmy Connors was that, he was completely anti-establishment. He didn't care, about the traditions or, who was in charge. He did things his way, and he didn't care what people thought or what people said. It's just the way he was, and it ended up getting him to the top of the tennis world.
And you're comparing Sage Karam to him?
And that's what
Sage Karam
does?
and Kyle Busch, where they genuinely don't care about a lot of other people. They're going to do things their way. Now, I think Karam needs to tone down some stuff to get more successful, but Kyle Busch really, did things his way for the most part, with a little bit of nurturing here and there.
So
Okay, so wait. Are you comparing his talent to Kyle Busch's or his personality
Yes.
to Kyle Busch?
both, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't get with you on the talent part of that, but the
No problem.
personality thing, man, maybe I could see it. No, but the reason I say that is because, I mean, we've seen Kyle Busch drive without a third gear, go under caution, and still, win a race. You know what I mean? We've seen Kyle do some just absolutely incredible things car that I just don't think many can pull off. Definitely, we haven't seen Sage do that. So,
is he the bionic Bush?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah. I
only know about
yeah,
that.
but I
when
still
Jay
remember
was
that,
here.
man. Watching that truck race, and he had just the gear fall out on him, and you're thinking, okay, if this race stays green, he'll be fine, But once you go back under caution, you drop back down to first, and you got to come back up. He still won that race without a third. I was like, wow, man, like that's
like
that's-
Hinchcliffe going
that's
into Pro Mazda and doing good.
without a gear. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I don't
like the whole
That's-
truck
that's-
thing and the whole whatever thing and the whole thing.
I'm just going to interrupt and apologize to
You
all
gotta
the
think
fans
without a
for all the
gear.
profanity that now.
I'm not saying the
Because
word.
you got to think without a gear, it kind of evens things out, no?
Without a gear, it makes it. Well, I mean, it's an oval. They do it on a street course or an oval, or a road course and oval.
No, it was an oval.
Well, okay, you need to get the what do they have? 4 gears.
Fourth, yeah. That's
Okay,
the thing.
he got
So
it to 4th.
he had a serious lag, obviously, coming from 2 and throwing it into 4th.
It's an oval. Once you get to 4th, you're kind of there for a while. I mean,
still.
it's
No,
not
but
that
still, that's what I'm
amazing.
saying, though. Coming out of a caution, though, I thought that was pretty.
So
pretty
he
incredible.
went from 2nd to 4th. He redlined 2nd and then popped into 4th.
But if you saw the amount of gap that the field started taking on him when he threw
I
it
guess
into
he
fourth,
should have won.
you know, it's
Yeah, in front of everybody else. He should have won. He got there faster.
well, no, because
It doesn't work that way.
no, because
Yes, I
it took
know.
the truck a while to catch into fourth. But if you saw the amount of gap that the rest of the field put on him after you shifted it into third, and for
you
him to
mean
still
the
come back
junior
up,
of the juniors racers,
the junior of the junior.
compared to the major leaguer, yeah. Again,
I'm just saying.
bench in Pro Mazda.
I'm
On
just
and
saying,
over.
I wouldn't put. I'm just saying, I wouldn't put Sage Karam and Kyle Busch in the same sentence as far as his talent goes. But personality, I could see kind of, yeah.
Well, you can't deny one thing. Sage does bring out good conversation, doesn't it? We've been going on him for 20 minutes. And I mean, is Lexus even going to pick him back up next year? I think they've had it with him.
Hey, if he's got a check.
That's true. Well, you know, it's sports car, and so you know they don't really pay drivers. You know, drivers kind of pay them. So, all right. Let's see. Any other teams we haven't gone over yet for next year that exist, or
Harding, but you know we know that's Gabby Chavez.
well, they might go 2 cars. They have said that, but who knows? It might be one of Chip's cars they might buy now. Who knows? Okay, if they do, let's say they do. Who would be probably the best teammate for Gabby to have that would be available, you think?
At Harding?
Yeah.
I think they ought to put. Frankly, I think if Munoz doesn't stay at foot, he ought to go to Harding.
You know what? Munoz and Chavez, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. Can't argue there.
Yep. No argument from me.
Christian?
Nope, no argument from me either.
You sure? You want to think about it for a second?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No.
I was enjoying you and Chris going.
Oh, well, I'm not going to disagree with him on everything.
Well,
it's just,
okay, I'll keep fishing. All right, so I'm kidding. And that's Twitter. That's Aliaso Racing, EIXO Racing, and C to Hardy. Motorsport Tribune. Any new articles coming out for Motorsport Tribune or any other publication there real soon? Just come out
Got some Road to Indy stuff that I'm going to be working on for Motorsports Tribune in the coming weeks.
Focusing on what?
Year in review kind of stuff.
Cool.
And I got a couple of surprise things coming up.
Right on. Well, just let me know, and we'll definitely retweet them out for you. And right on. All right. So, who are you playing this week in fantasy there, Chris?
I have to actually take a look. Let me see here.
You in our division? You in East or West? Because Missy's undefeated in our division.
My ball. Okay, got it right here. I'm playing Frank Santarowski's wife.
3 quarterbacks, first, second, third round. Right on. It's still the weirdest draft I ever saw.
I know, right?
Should have went with the kickers.
I don't know, but I maybe our strategy was for trading back down the line.
I want to go over the Formula One race.
Yeah, let's. Do you want to finish up with the list of the championship standings?
What, for INDYCAR, you mean?
Yeah, well, just put a bow on the season with who finished where. Okay,
so Joseph Newgarden, of course, was your 2017 Verizon IndyCar Series champion with 642 points. And then Simon Pagenaud came in second with 629. And then Scott Dixon was your third place finisher with 621. Elio Castroneves, 598. Will Power, 562. Graham Rahal with 522 points in sixth. Shall I keep going?
Yeah, but no points. Just
Okay. Alexander Rossi, Takuma Sato, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Tony Kanaan, Max Chilton, Marco Andretti, James Hinchcliffe, Ed Jones, J.R. Hildebrand, Carlos Munoz, Charlie Kimball, Connor Daly, Mikel Ocean, Spencer Piggott, Sebastian Bourdais, Ed Carpenter, and then you have, I guess, the one-off guys,
at
Gabby
4,500,
Chavez, Juan Pablo Montoya. Oh, wait, there's Esteban Gutierrez in there.
We need more Sasson on that, Missy.
Sasson. Right.
Hey, I found the translation for that. There's a translation for it.
What is it?
Time? I think it means time.
Yeah. Time.
Mhm.
Makes no sense whatsoever. But you're talking about the
No,
spice, right?
We're talking about the seasoning, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. You just spelled it differently. That's all. Anyway, but yeah, Missy, you got to put more Sasson into that Esteban Gutierrez. Yeah. Remember the last time she did it? She says name backwards.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
So,
right on.
yeah. So the rest were one-offs after. I mean, Sebastian
That's right,
Zvager,
yeah.
Oral Serbia, Jack Harvey, Fernando Alonso, Pippa Mann, Zachary Clayman DeMello, Jay Howard, Zach
It's okay,
Beach,
Missy.
Sage Karam, James Davison, Tristan Voltier, Buddy Lazier, and Lazier, okay, and Robert Wickens.
Right on. Does Lazier race another 500 in this upcoming year?
Yes.
He's got the money.
Might as well. He keeps on doing it. Someone said at this point, why? I don't know. But, hey, whatever. I'd do it if I had the money. All right. So, yeah, I mean, and what's weird is out of that whole list of everybody that you rambled off that was pretty much full-time, well, sort of, you know, will Hildebrand have a ride next year?
I hope.
I want
I'm
to say
sure
no.
he does, too. I don't think so either.
What about a 500 ride for Ed Carpenter? You know, back to that third seat.
That's possible.
I could see that.
Yeah. If anything. Well, what about you, Kristen?
Back for the 500, not for the whole year.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, him and there was one other. I guess. Well, no, Spencer Piggott's going the opposite route, which being full time, thankfully, I'm really happy to hear that. He deserves it. And there was another name in there, but it just slipped my mind. It's not important enough. Oh yeah, Mikel Ocean. Where will he be next year? Never mind.
In WEC and LMP1.
I know. Who's he heading up? Like, is it? I mean, I know it's SMP or S or P, whatever.
It is SMP.
Okay,
Yep, you had it right.
thank you. But
You
like,
tried, Frank. You tried.
no, I saw he succeeded. But what I wanted to know is like, what car are they bringing to LMP1?
It's their own design.
Their own engine manufacturer, everything.
No, their own chassis. I don't know what engine they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What engine? I wonder if it's Acura too. I don't know. Maybe Acura's getting into both. I don't know. Who knows? All right, I guess we'll find out eventually. We'll talk about it in 5 months from now, maybe. But I did make sure to buy a Mikel Ocean shirt, you know, at Watkins Glen because I figured why not? Won't ever have another shot to. Not that I was a huge fan of his, but I figured it was a cool looking shirt. And yeah, it fits. So it was a plus. All right. So anything else? Well, I guess let's put an overall grade on this season. Start with you, Mike. New kid on the block. Grade.
Solid B to B plus.
B to B plus. Okay. I mean, do you want to elaborate any, or is that just a B to B plus, and then moving on?
I think
Onward and upward.
Yeah, onward and upward. Let's leave it at that.
Like it. Chris?
Do what?
Grade.
For
this season as an overall.
I'd say A minus, B plus.
Oh, okay. There's two different ones, but right on.
Well, you said B plus, so
Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. So, all right.
yeah, Frank.
What, me? Are you asking me, or?
No, just being smartass.
Well, I'll just take it as you were asking me. I'm going to give it an A minus. Yep. Missy? Or did
Missy fell asleep.
Yep. Christian?
I'm gonna go with a B.
A B?
Not bad, and but excitement level of A plus though going into next year, and looking forward to seeing the new car in action.
Yeah,
So.
without a doubt.
A plus plus plus. Missy, you back with us? Missy? Hello? Missy? I think we lost Missy.
Oh, my bad. I turned my
We
mic
found
off.
her.
I had it on silent.
Grade, Missy, grade.
I'll give it A minus too. There was more good races than there was crappy races this year, so.
Can't argue with that. All right. So, anything else anybody wants to say about IndyCar before we move on to the race that happened over the, if you want to call it a race, happened in Singapore?
No, I think it's pretty much covered.
Yeah, I think we covered everybody. I can't think of a team we haven't touched on. Chris, is there anything you want to finish out by saying about the year?
Glad that the race in Sonoma went caution free, and glad to see that everybody drove with their heads on straight after the first lap.
It's true. Very well said. Christian, anything you want to say?
No, it was a good year. I'm happy that the New Garden got things done, and just really excited here to get cracking on my own off season and watch everybody else that I know get cracking on what they do for the off season, and see everybody in February.
And where can they find you on Twitter? I'm pushing this. You're gonna have so many followers. You're gonna have like 5, maybe even 6.
Oh, up from the 4. Look at me go. That's Aleixo Racing. ALEIXO RACING.
Right.
Yeah, at Aleixo Racing. But I'm probably gonna change that. I'll come up with something more clever.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, you'll have to make a new email.
And it won't take me 2 weeks either. I'll tell you that.
First, you got to download the app on that droid of yours.
Yes, first things first.
Okay. Mike, is there anything you'd like to say about the season before we move on?
Just like Christian said, it was a overall a good season. Pocono was definitely, to me, the most exciting race of the year, and really looking forward to see how the new aero kits play in next year.
Did I ask you already, Chris?
You did?
Yes. Okay. Missy? Yes. I think the only thing I want to say is I really hope we get another race abroad down either Mexico or someplace else other than we need another race and we need it abroad. We've locked up a pretty decent schedule here for the foreseeable future, so it's time to go abroad. And I'm telling you, Asia is looking very, very, they're dying for great open wheel racing over there. I'm telling you, when you can get 25,000 people to go watch an F3 race, I mean, why aren't we in China? That's all I'm saying. So anyway, okay, that's all I want to say. But other than that, looking forward to next year. All right, so who didn't watch Singapore or at least see the first turn?
I saw the start.
I watched about the first 5 laps.
Yeah. So wait, Christian, you didn't see it?
That's 4 more. That's 4 more than I did. So yeah,
So you didn't see the beginning of this race.
I did not. I caught highlights on Facebook.
That's all you needed to see. That's all that happened.
Yeah, I caught the highlights on Facebook.
That's all that happened. All that happened was the first. Jesus. Okay. How's Ferrari going to tweet out? They blamed everything on Verstappen.
Did they have that guy from Iraq, that information minister guy from the Second Iraq War, ruling their Twitter?
They had to have, dude. Because
Remember that guy?
no.
Like when the U.S. was bombing Iraq in like '03, and he was like, "No, we're drawing them away. We're repelling them." That guy.
Was he high hoping or was he just?
No, he was like it was the minister of misinformation.
So the propaganda minister of propaganda.
I think so.
Okay. Well, he was wrong. He's really wrong. I watched it on CNN. Like, what he just said is totally not what I just saw.
I got it. Mohammed Seed Al-Saf.
I saw blind shooting in all directions. And the city just be basically leveled. Yep. Good old CNN. Anyway. Oh, boy. Okay, so, how do we get to that? Jeez, Chris. All right. Yeah, so, yeah, that was not Verstappen's fault. If anybody's to blame, it's Kimi Räikkönen first and foremost, and then Sebastian Vettel didn't help at all.
No, I'm going to blame Sebastian Vettel on this one.
No, that was Kimi.
No, I'm
Kimi.
going to blame Sebastian Vettel.
Kimi was the first one to make contact.
I'm still going to blame Vettel on this one.
Verstappen.
How does he start on the right side and all of a sudden he just like cuts over to the left? It was just like he was going to, even if Max Verstappen wasn't there, he was going to take out Kimi Räikkönen.
Then again, you got Verstappen there, who's not in the mix of a championship at all, and then you got Vettel, who is. So I guess you're going to get more aggression out of Vettel than Verstappen, but I mean, I watched Verstappen become a Ferrari sandwich, and this was the first time that both Ferraris were taken out on the first lap, never mind the first turn, in a race since like 64 or 69 or something like that, 1959. It was some crazy freaking date. The last
when did
time,
they say that? Would they say that on the race or what?
That was on the NRF1 podcast I was listening to today. They said that. I didn't fact check them, but they're pretty reliable. Michael Bradley, I think his name is. Yeah, that's what he said. Last time both Ferraris were taken out of a Grand Prix on the first lap, even though this was the first turn. First lap, both retired in like 60 some years, which I find amazing. But yeah, especially watching Mercedes do it 3 times last year.
Yeah, I'm surprised half of those drivers avoided a lot of that. I mean, Hamilton for one avoided all of it.
And of course Alonso wouldn't have.
Oh, no. Poor Alonso.
Hey, he made it to third.
He had a great start.
Well, it's because everybody in front of him had such a bad one. They were all crazy. I mean, literally it was like...
No, this is before anybody crashed. He did. He really did have a great start.
People were braking because they were watching both Ferraris just light up Verstappen, and Verstappen had no left, no right steering. You see him to turn the wheel. His wheels weren't going anywhere, and he was just basically gliding into an apex where everybody was trying to, funnel into, and he took out, Alonso and Kimi and everybody else. And then, was like 2 turns later, something finally did break on Vettel's car, and he all of a sudden ended up backwards. That was kind of funny looking.
Yeah, he tagged the wall, lost his front end, and wound up backwards.
I think it was already pretty damaged up to that point.
Oh yeah.
Plus, add the rain factor, which I've never seen half of a grid throughout an entire race. Not a stint, not the beginning of the race, not starting it. The entire freaking race. Half were on wets and half were on intermediates. I've never seen that before.
Well, it was the first wet night race for
Ever?
them in Singapore.
Oh, right. So, at any rate,
And they had more cautions in this race than they did all year.
well, this was like the first
So-
time race in a while.
So I do have a little bit of statistic here.
Go ahead.
This is the first time Ferrari's ever gotten a first ever double lap one retirement, and the last time that neither car finished the first lap was 1982 at Belgium. That's because Didier Pironi his car was withdrawn because his teammate Gilles Villeneuve was killed in a crash in qualifying.
Okay, now I think they're talking about both cars gridding, taking the
And
lights
retiring
out.
on the first lap. Yeah, this is the first time it's ever happened.
Okay. I'm just letting you know what I heard from NRF1 earlier today, that's all. But, that's okay. Way to look into that. But still, isn't that pretty insane? So you're saying it's never happened?
Correct.
Wow. That's pretty insane. And so, okay, so then, all right, as far as F1 goes, I mean, the season's practically almost over, and pretty much Hamilton's pretty much got this almost in the
Whoa,
bag, right?
whoa! I don't think so.
Well, where they got left to go? They have, what, Coda? They got, how many more Grand Prix do they have? 3?
No, they have 6.
Do they really still?
Yeah.
What's their off season? A month?
Well, let's see. They get
Hang on, I have it right here.
December, January, and February, and most of March. They start the end of March.
Abu Dhabi, Brazil, Mexico, U.S., Japan, and Malaysia.
6.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's in reverse order, by the way. It's going from the last part of the season to so the next one is Malaysia, then Japan, U.S., Mexico, Brazil, and then Abu Dhabi.
And there was no damage to the track in Mexico. Just throwing it out there.
From
Yay.
what, from the earthquake? The 2 earthquakes?
Yeah.
There was 2, right?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, an 8.1 and a 7.1. Right. That was crazy, man. An 8.1 earthquake while a Category 1 hurricane was hitting them at the same time, and while there was 3 cyclones over the same body of water at the same time. This world is coming to an end.
Wonder if anyone was bowling at the time.
What? What?
I said, I wonder if anyone was bowling
No,
at the time.
I heard you.
No, we heard you.
Yeah, I don't get the reference. Does anyone else?
Because if you're bowling, then the pins are shaking and they help you.
The earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude.
Wow. Okay. Moving on.
Wow.
So there's only 28 points that separate Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel.
See the Hardy folks on Twitter. Motorsports. Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry, Missy. I didn't mean to cut you off there. How many points has he had?
28.
Well, you see, you don't get a whole lot of points in F1 for what you do. I mean,
What she's saying is he's 28 points back of Lewis Hamilton right now.
Yeah.
I mean, but like first place through 10th place, I mean, the points, they're pretty close together. Like all I'm saying is, I think Vettel and Hamilton, I mean, minus DNFs, it's going to be tough to beat Hamilton now with that big of a... I mean, 26 points is a big gap with only 6 GPs left in F1. What's the point structure now? From first to 10th? Or at least first to even third? I mean, isn't it only like 2 points? Like every step?
I don't know what their point system is.
It's not much. You don't get much for much. I know that much.
Oh, wait, here you go. I got it. First place, you get 25 points. Second, you get 18. Third, you get 15.
That's way off.
12 for fourth. Fifth, you
Shut
get
up,
10.
Chris. I hear you laughing.
Sixth, you get 8 points. Seventh, you get 6. Eighth, you get 4. Ninth, you get 2. And 10th, you get 1.
Oh, no.
After that, you get nothing.
Zippo. Like McLaren. So yeah, so is it official? Did Alonso resign for next year now?
Not yet.
With McLaren, it's not official.
Nope.
It's speculated though.
Just a lot of speculation.
Well, I mean, McLaren's going with what, Renault,
Yeah.
and Honda will now be with Toro Rosso, which is weird, being as though, you know, Red Bull is staying with Renault, but Toro Rosso Red Bull is going with Honda. That's strange. But then again, I mean, I'm sorry, the regular Red Bull has Teg Heuer, not Renault. You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, who knew? Who knew a clock? A watch company built engines. And whatever. Is Renault a big enough engine change to McLaren for it to entice Alonso to stay? It's an opinion question.
Possibly.
I don't think so. I mean, Ricciardo's the only one that seems to benefit from the engine at all, and that's because he's in a Red Bull. I mean, McLaren chassis, Red Bull chassis. I'd give the edge to Red Bull. I don't think that puts Alonso in any seat of a hope to do what, a championship. No. What's he going to do? He wants to, I still say we still might see him come over here. I'm still holding out hope for at least that, I really hope so, anyway. Okay, percentages of likelihood that he stays in F1 or comes to INDYCAR. Anybody can start.
50-50?
30-70.
Okay, Missy's 30-70, what? 30-70 yes INDYCAR or yes F1?
30 INDYCAR, 70 stays in Formula One.
I actually I'm going to agree with that.
Okay, so Chris and Missy in agreement. Christian?
80-20.
80 INDYCAR, 20 F1?
No, flip that. 80% he stays in F1, 20% he's coming in INDYCAR.
Okay. Mike?
I'm going to go 90% he stays in F1, 10% INDYCAR.
Right on. 100% he's coming to INDYCAR, 0% he stays in F1. I'm going against the grain.
We all knew you would say that.
I can't go against what I've been saying all year. I got to, I'm going to go
Ride
down.
it out, Frank.
Hey, I'm still riding out Elio's not going to sports car, even though he's playing the game right now. He's appeasing his boss, is what he's doing. If I was Elio, I would do as bad as I possibly could in sports car. I just crash the car every time. I just can't get around this sitting off to the side thing, boss. I don't know. I'm so used to being in the middle. Wink, wink. That's what I would do. But then again, I might get fired.
Yeah, then he might not have a ride anywhere.
Yeah. It's like, I guess we didn't, Elio must not be that good since he obviously can't drive a regular car. So. All right. So, I guess, I know Hamilton won this race, and I love towards the end. Toto Wolff, I think, came over, or whoever talks to him over his had said they try to tell him to slow down and don't gap so much because if the time runs out or if there's a safety car or something, he might get screwed or whatever. And then Hamilton basically said, no, I don't feel comfortable that way. I'm just going to go all out. I feel more comfortable that way. So, yeah, I'm not going to listen to you. And they went, all right. And then they just basically repeated the opposite demand to him to make it sound like their driver is doing what they're telling him to do.
I think my favorite part of the race was after all the crashes there in one of the cautions. They come over the radio and say to him, what did they say? They said, "Oh, the best we can hope for is just to finish the race in one piece." And he's just like, "Oh, yeah, I can see that."
Didn't he say it twice? Like really
Yeah.
arrogant and
Yeah.
sarcastic?
I was like, really? He just watched a bunch of the leaders crash out. I don't think he needs to be told just to finish this race.
That's
in one
driver
piece.
coaching, by the way. I think they should have got a penalty for that. Does that even exist in F1 anymore?
I don't think so. Nobody's gotten penalized for it lately.
But it's kind of funny that do you really need to tell your driver, listen, don't crash the car and try to finish the race, okay? Like, what?
Especially if someone of Lewis Hamilton's caliber.
Even if I was in the car, they wouldn't need to tell me that. I mean,
Yeah, just bring the car home in one piece. Yeah, I can see that.
listen, you're winning the race great. A few more laps left. This is what I need you to do. Finish the race, okay? Okay. Right. Other than that, I mean, anything else happen in the racing world?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
And then some. I don't know. Yeah.
Much like Jerry Springer, I think now it's time for our final thoughts.
Okay, final thoughts on the show?
No, just, this past weekend in motorsports, things like that.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, how about this? What's the one story out of all the stories that have been coming out, and there's been a bunch of them, you gotta admit that. What's the one story that's piqued your interest the most and has you the most wanting to find out the outcome of it?
I wouldn't say the outcome of it, but the story that piqued my interest the most was that Continental was going to be out of IMSA because I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Okay, all right. Do you think it won't have any bearing on the Continental Tire Series, will it?
Yeah, they're getting out of that too.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, Missy told me that. And then I was like, we should have Matt Bell on, like, maybe next week or so. Find out what his plans
Way to
are.
listen to your wife, Frank.
I do hear. It takes a while sometimes for things to sink in, but they do. Hey, see, that's proof right there. Just proved it. See, Missy? I listen to you.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, storyline that intrigues you the most that you're following the closest.
I'm gonna go with two. One, your favorite in Alonso, and two, really how the aero kit testing is going to go this off season. Now that Serbia started talking about it, I'm definitely curious as to if it'll separate the men from the boys.
I really hope so. Nice. How about you, Christian?
A story that's really interesting to me. I think I heard Robert Kubica is trying to make a comeback.
Who?
Kubica in F1, he's trying to make a comeback.
Oh, okay.
I heard that's pretty interesting, and I also heard Button might be coming back as well. So that's pretty interesting to follow these guys. So
Right on. How about you, Missy?
I think the story that came out recently that piqued my interest is Chip Ganassi and who's going to fill the second seat. And their speculation is Brendan Hartley, because it's a little surprising to me, of all the people that would be available.
Really? Like, I never heard. Yeah, I mean, I heard of his name before. It just it didn't stick. You know. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you guys know me, the Alonso, and that. I just need some closure on the Elio thing, really. Something. A yes or a no, or a definite or a not. I don't know. Something. That's what I'll be waiting for. Those two things. So, all right, and we'll definitely keep you posted because unlike the series that we follow, we don't have an off season. We cover it, so we'll be here every Tuesday night or Wednesday night, depending on stuff. Every week. So, always racing never ends. The silly season's when all the fun happens. So, all right. Well, like I said last week, Mike and Christian and Chris, just thanks for coming on. Mike towards the end of the season, but Chris, past 2 years at least. Christian all season. Just thanks for coming on the show and talking racing, helping us or helping me, not get stuff right. And Missy needs no help with that. But you guys have just made the show that much better, and all the listeners really love you guys coming on, and it just so do I, and so does Missy, and we just can't thank you guys enough. So, and we want to thank all the listeners too for listening all season long, and getting all your news from us and our social media outlets and all the social media outlets that we plug, that that we get our new stuff from. So, just want to thank the listeners the most out there. So, alrighty. Plugs. Chris, where can they find all your good stuff at, buddy?
Motorsportstribune.com. I've also done some freelancing for INDYCAR.com. Twitter is @CDeHardy. Same thing with Instagram.
Right on. Mike?
All of my social media is Mike_JOACHIM.
Right on. And again, thank you for the website, Mike. Looks great. Everybody check it out. Christian, where can they find you on Twitter, buddy?
On Twitter, I'm at ALEIXO Racing. On Facebook at Christian Alaiso MRTI. And feel free to add my personal page as well.
And book,
if you're interested in
book release
seeing what I do during the off season.
Yep.
Yes, and the book is back out, and anybody listening, I would greatly, greatly appreciate you giving it a good read. Not just because it's my book, but I just think it's been an incredible story and an incredible ride getting to this point. Even a lot has been done, and I just really want to get that number one spot as well. I've got myself fixated on it. It's on my vision board, and I'd like everyone's support in making that happen. So, thank you.
Well, I hope it happens for you too, buddy.
And thanks to ISCP also for being a sponsor on the book.
It's our pleasure. We were humbled to be asked. And Missy, where can they find you at?
That'd be at Missy Links.
Yep. And all right. So all right. And yep.
And on that note,
because
that I know. Frank, of course, doesn't know.
Never.
And
Scotty doesn't know.
Chris, no, it's the off season.
No.
No.